close that there. Yeah, okay, whatever. So yeah, it looks like I was going to start a little while ago, about 10 minutes ago, but it took me 10 minutes just to figure out all the changes in OBS since the last time I went live. I actually haven't gone live since, I think, August of last year. So it's been a little while, and I had to reconnect things and kind of learn some of the changes in OBS. But for one thing, can you hear me? If I could get a sound check, that would be awesome. People are messaging me. Okay. So, can you hear me? Won't be much of a live stream if you can't. So, there's the good old radio method. Oh, somebody's got it. 5 by 5 by 5. All right. Can hear you, bro. Awesome. Thank you so much. So, yeah. Cartoon Universe and old AF reviewers. I like that name. Thanks for the mic check. I appreciate it. So yeah, let's get into it. This video is not sponsored. I wish it were. I could use the cash. So anyways, yeah, in case you haven't been with us before, and you know, you can be forgiven for not because it's been a while. What I normally would do with these live streams is I'll answer your questions in chat, and I'll go chronologically. So if you have a request, a question, something you want to see in chat, get it in soon, because I'll probably be going live. This live will last a little less than 2 hours. Just kind of the window of opportunity I had to go live. So it is sort of a first come, first serve in terms of requests, questions, things like that. This channel's not monetized, so no super chat yet. So we just do chronological because it's like the only way that seems fair. And yeah, so it has been a while. And I guess maybe I'll just kind of start off while people maybe get their questions in chat. Explaining why it's been a while is there's someone in my family who has some like health challenges, and so as a result, finding time when I'm able to go live is a little tricky because like I've got my nice couch back there, but as often as not, that's almost like doubling as like a hospital bed, and so like the room's not available and things like that. So on top of that, I've got, you know, I got a day job. I run the Facebook group. Of course, someone's calling me right now. Let's find out what this is. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
This is Mary Clark. Thanks so much.
I appreciate your call, and I support your organization, but I'm in the middle of a live broadcast at the moment. So this isn't a great time.
Repeat that?
I'm in the middle of a live broadcast at the moment, so I don't have time to talk. I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but are you a real person? Did you not hear what I just said? You're interrupting a live broadcast.
I understand. May I take
See, you just don't stop talking, do you?
$95?
I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but I don't think you're a person.
Sorry about that. Thanks for taking my call. It was nice talking with you, and please have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
That was some interesting AI right there. I can't even. That was Mothers Against Drunk Driving, which is, you know, hey, great cause, great cause. Nobody wants people to die from drunk driving. But holy dear God, there was no stopping that. I honestly think that might have been AI that was calling me, which is like a little terrifying. I go months without receiving phone calls on my phone. And of course, the second I go live, the first time since August of bloody last year, wow. And she's just like, oh, if you don't mind if I just continue. I'm like, you're interrupting a live broadcast. Did you not understand? I don't think you're a real person. I only have another 30 seconds to give you this message. And I'm like, oh my God, wow. Oh, spam has gotten so bad. I actually had somebody outside my house banging on my door trying to sell me something the other day, like it was the 50s or something. Oh, man. Okay, anyways, pardon the interruption. What the hell was that? Oh, that's funny. So, okay, here we go. Let's see. What the heck was I talking? Oh yeah, it's just been a long time since I've been able to do this. I've got a lot of other competing priorities. I've got a day job. I've got my primary channel, Vacation Impossible. I've got Facebook groups that I run, including Small YouTubers Boost, Canadian YouTubers, Vancouver YouTubers, Travel Instagram Boost, lots of different things. And, you know, this channel. And so I've got a lot going on, but I do enjoy doing these live streams when I can. And so, unfortunately, it's gotten harder for the stars to align. But today they did for hopefully the better part of 2 hours. So, wow, I'm just going to shake off that incredibly bizarre phone call. Sounded like a very nice person, but wow. Okay. Yeah, it was so weird because she was just like, oh, I'm happy to hear a friendly voice. You know, I've been listening to voicemail greetings all day. She launches into her spiel, finally takes a breath. I finally say something, and she just completely ignores what I said. She's like, oh, you have a lovely voice. I'm like, what? I basically just told you to shut the hell up, and your response is you have a lovely voice? Oh, my God. Oh, that is insane. I hope I didn't come off as like a total dick just then. I might go back and rewatch. And also this live thing you can rewatch. And I might go back and rewatch the beginning myself just to be like, what the heck just happened? I tried to mute the microphone when they were speaking because, like, obviously they never consented to be on a live stream on the internet. And I'm concerned about privacy and stuff, but okay. Shaking it off. All right, old AF reviewers. I'm going through a stale patch. Gain subs, lose subs, never seem to progress. What's the best solution? That's a good question. It's fairly broad. And so that can be tricky. I'm tempted to take a quick look at the channel just so I can provide a contextualized response. So, yeah. I mean, my first thought, based on the way that your question is worded, is that you're really focused on subscribers right now. And so if that is demotivating you, if that's having a demotivating effect on you, that ain't good, for one thing. And so that makes me think that, like, maybe focusing on subscribers as your key focus metric right now is maybe not the best idea. Obviously, it's not necessarily going great, and that's something you want to get going, and that's probably why you're focused on it. But from, like, a mental health standpoint, I'm like, you know, is focusing so much so looking at, I'm guessing you're looking at it daily. That might be a little bit much. But I'm just going to take a quick look at your channel. Hopefully that's okay with you. But, you know, you spoke up in chat, so I imagine you're going to be okay with it. That's an assumption I make during these live streams. Okay, so you're at 360 subscribers. So your next subscriber milestone is going to be 500 to get the community tab enabled. So I'm guessing you're probably heading towards that. And now what I want to do here... and just like a couple obvious things, there's a lot of blank space on your banner here. There's no channel trailer. You don't have any playlists on your homepage, but you've got a few. So like comedy and skits, challenges, competition entries maybe. Could all be put on your homepage as playlists, so that's just something there. But that's not what I came here to talk about. What I really came here to talk about, I want to look at your channelytics, and I want to see what's going on here, because you're concerned about subscriber growth, and so that's views. You want to focus on subscriber growth. In case you're wondering what I'm using here, this is the Channelytics tool with TUBEBUDDY. TUBEBUDDY is a browser plugin. It's a website. It's a mobile app. There's an affiliate link down below. You can go get it for free. What I'm using right now is the browser plugin, the Channelytics function. This is all free. This is all in the free version. So if you don't already have it, I strongly recommend you get it, because if you're not doing YouTube with TUBEBUDDY, then you're basically doing YouTube with one hand tied behind your back. So, yeah, there you go. So yeah, some subscriber growth here and there. And so what I'm actually really curious about is your video output. So it looks like 3 videos in the last month. Okay. So, Also, you have no channel keywords, so I would go in and add some channel keywords just to improve the searchability of your channel. So those are just some little things. But in terms of subscriber growth, let's see, you had videos on the 30th, the 4th, and the 9th. Let's play that old game. Can I predict when you had subscriber growth? The 30th, the 4th, and the 9th. So it seems like when you put out a video, you get a subscriber. And so that's a pretty good relation, because it would seem to suggest that your video content that you're putting out now is not necessarily costing you subscribers. I mean, it is kind of being followed by some dips. This only shows positive. So I'd need to go into Social Blade, but I can do that to see what's going on in terms of actually losing subscribers. One thing, if subscribers is your focus, you can go into YouTube Analytics and look at what videos are gaining you subscribers and which ones are costing you subscribers, and make more of the kind that are gaining you. So yeah, -2, +2, minus, plus. This all zeroes each other out, which is bizarre. Now, oh god, that is gross. Jesus, ads. Anyways, it's interesting. If these numbers were inverted, if it was +2, then -2, +3, then -3, +1, then -1, people might say like, oh, you're doing sub for sub and people are dropping off or something like that. I don't think that's the case here. And people jump to that conclusion far too often. That's not a thing to do. Don't do it. Violates YouTube's fake engagement policy. You'll get your channel shut down. But I don't think that's necessarily what's going on here. And so you're gaining views every day. You had a triple-digit day up here on the 10th, where you had over 100 views on that particular day. Let's see. And so this is sort of the subscriber growth over time. How old is this channel? Taking it back about... Okay, so the channel was created in February 2021. Now let's go all the way back to when I did my search, because I want to see the search results again. Oops, one step further. 65 videos. Okay, I mean, that's a substantial number of videos. I think that there's a lot of things that you can do potentially to get unstuck. But, I mean, really, my top recommendation is to stop watching the subscriber count. Stop being super invested in your subscriber count. Focus on the view count. That's my advice. Switch your focus. Because the way that it works on the current iteration of YouTube is that views will get you subscribers. And that's great. Subscribers don't really get you views. The way the algorithm currently works in the settings and everything is when someone subscribes to you, just because they're subscribed doesn't mean that YouTube's going to show them your videos. They tend not to. You have to have notifications turned on, and you got to set them to all. And even when you do that, sometimes that doesn't work. YouTube subscriber notifications has been, intermittent at best. It is another iteration of an algorithm. So that's part of it. And that's why I recommend people do things like also be on Twitter, because you can have a Twitter in the name of your channel, integrate it with your social links, and then every time you post a video, in like 3 clicks, you can share it to Twitter. And so then, if someone follows you on Twitter, maybe with notifications on, there's no algorithm having the same level of impact there, where they might actually get something every single time. And additionally, if you want something that's much more labor intensive, you could have a mailing list and things like that. But that's not something that I've done. That's because it's a lot of work. There's services out there, MailChimp and things like that I've heard of. I haven't really played with a lot. But anyways, the point, I'm getting a little off topic here. The point is that subscribers, I think at this point in the channel's life, is maybe the wrong metric to focus on. I think that what you want to focus on is getting the views, because views drive subscribers. You're not going to get a subscriber if they haven't viewed one of your videos, and if you do, they won't be around for long, because they're probably not legitimate, for like they're subscribing because you told them to or something. Who knows if they're going to actually like your content? That's not the kind of audience that you want to grow necessarily. So I might be able to show you something a little bit here in analytics. Let me just get it queued up in another window so I don't accidentally share anything I'm not allowed to share. Oh my god, so many pop-ups! Okay, let's see. Haven't been in this metric in a little while. Here we go. Here we go. Let's put this on the primary window so y'all can see. Make sure that shows up properly. Oh my god, with the pop-ups! I just clicked on like 8 pop-ups before even loading this, and then it still goes. So this is a really important thing for understanding sort of your audience growth. Click over to the subscriber tab here. So if, oh my god, pop-ups, be gone. Whether it's phone calls or pop-ups, I am in like no mood for spam today. Okay, so under channel your channel analytics here in Creator Studio, you can look at the audience, and here's an important metric that could be useful: videos growing your audience. And so this is about people who watch a video and then come back and watch other videos. So if this was their first injection point to your channel, did they come back and watch more stuff later or right thereafter? Now, my channel, these are almost always low because this is a largely informative channel. It's not a personality-driven channel. So people come here, they get the content and the tutorial or whatever they need, and then they move on. And that's just the way of my niche. But you can look at, let's go. Oh my god, pop-ups, I swear to god I'm going to lose it. Here is what's really important. When you click into the more area and you see this column over here on the right is really important because you can sort by subscribers. And so you can see that on this particular channel of mine, which, I mean, it's a travel channel and there's still a pandemic raging, so we're definitely not at our peak of potential. So, you know, don't judge me too harshly by these analytics. We do better under, you know, the before times, under normal times, if we ever get there again. But in the last 28 days, I've gotten 72 subscribers. And I haven't been, like, working full, you know, balls to the wall on this channel either. But you'll see here, this tells you what's gaining you subscribers, and if I had lost some, they would have been at the very bottom. But I've actually had a good month where I haven't lost anybody. So, but you can see which video is gaining you more subscribers than others. That's what this list is sorted by. And so you can see that I've got this breakfast room service thing has gotten me tons of subscribers. And that's a shock to me. I haven't looked at this metric in a while, and I would not have put that video at the top of this list. Not in a million years. And so that's why it's good to go in and look at this. If subscribers is your focus and the metric you're trying to drive, find out what videos are doing it for you. And then consider when you're getting ready to make a new video, maybe I want to make a video on a very similar to that topic, or in the same style, something like that, or with a similar sort of thumbnail, something where you basically figure out where your strength is and then double down and reinvest in that. Is a very effective strategy. Alternatively, another way that you can use this information, even if you're not making new videos, or maybe you've got like a bunch of videos in the can waiting to be released, or you're just not feeling it, whatever it is, maybe this is the video that you want to go and you know, promote on social media somewhere. And I'm not talking spamming, because obviously I hate spam, in case you've been watching my little mini rant this afternoon with the phone calls and the pop-ups of, you know, and the ads of grossness. But I think that targeted social sharing can be incredibly effective, where you find a community where your video answers a question, entertains them, speaks to their issues, aligns with their values, something like that. If you can find a Facebook group where you're allowed to share that way, because you want to follow the rules of whatever community you're in, or if you want to find a subreddit or something like that, and then share that video, make that a focus of the videos you promote. If you want to have a pinned post on your Facebook page, if you have a page for your channel, or a pinned tweet on your Twitter, maybe if subscribers is your bag, if that's what you're focusing on, find the video that gets you the most and pin those in the primary position when you can in those social media areas. That could really be some different ways of driving subscriber growth. But again, I just want to circle back to my primary recommendation here of don't let your happiness be determined by your subscriber count or its growth. I mean, don't let any metrics do that would be my general advice. But in terms of things to focus on YouTube, wherever you are in your YouTube journey, you really shouldn't focus on subscribers. It sounds crazy. Focus on your audience, yes, not your subscriber number. You need to focus on if there's any number you want to pay attention to, it would be views, CTR, audience retention, watch time. Those are the important metrics that drive growth. Those are the drivers. Subscribers are the result. And so if you just try to jump straight to the result, you're basically trying to make a sandwich with no ingredients. You're making a butter sandwich. You have no meat, lettuce, tomato, whatever. And so that's a clunky metaphor, but I think it kind of gets the point across. So let me get back into chat. And fair warning, I am notorious about falling behind in chat, so get ready to be disappointed or be very, very patient with me as I slowly make my way through chat, because a lot of these questions, I'll get like a 5-word question and a 20-minute answer, because simple questions have complicated answers on YouTube. It's the whole reason I'm here, is to try and complexify and demystify YouTube, and hope people can, have a better time of it, both finding success, but also maybe being, a little kind on themselves and staying motivated and being happy and, things like that. Okay. Thumb up. Oh, yes, if you could give a thumbs up on the live stream, that would be cool. One of the reasons that I haven't been doing a lot of live streams is they tend not to get a huge number of views, watch time, or interactions. And so, that's just kind of good analytical thinking. You go where things are effective. So I find that oftentimes building a guide in our Facebook group, that tends to help more people than, say, a live stream. And so if that takes less work, helps more people, something to think about. But if you want to see more live streams like this, or if you're enjoying it, a thumbs up would be awesome. How goes it? Asks Amanda Morgan. Things are going all right. Things are going okay. I feel like my travel channel is slowly coming back to life. My communities on Facebook, my Facebook groups, are doing fairly well. They're slowly kind of coming back to life as well. They had been in different things, have been in slumps for different reasons. My travel channel, the pandemic had drastically depressed it. Like, if you look at my analytics for Vacation Impossible, you can see where the pandemic hit, because everything went right the hell down. And so we're slowly clawing our way out of that, which is nice. But of course, in terms of travel, I'm trying to do things safely and responsibly as much as possible in a very complex and inconsistent landscape right now. Is like, rules are changing day to day. I read 3 different news sites every day just to find out if my weekend is canceled. And that's a strange place to be for that. For Small YouTubers Boost, the group has been doing okay, but I think that I was a little demotivated in making on-camera content for this channel. It might have been just delayed onset COVID fatigue. I don't know. Might have been the focusing on other things. Some other communities I have, which I don't really promote, but they've been really taking off, and so that's been kind of exciting and fun, and building other communities has been something else I've been focused on. I even sold some t-shirts recently, which has been a difficult nut to crack for me. I haven't really focused on it, but I want to try and provide you guys, you people. I was reading an article the other day about how guys is like the worst the worst verbal crutch. But anyways, my audience, small YouTubers, as much information as possible. So I have a Patreon that I created so I can know and talk about Patreon. I was creating t-shirts on Teespring, and wow, that website sucks. So I can speak intelligently about it and experientially about it and stuff like that. So and so I was finally I sold, I think, like a half dozen t-shirts on April Fool's Day, which prior to that in my life I had sold one. So that was kind of cool. And so, it's lots of interesting things going on. Also, I'm going to go see the new, what's it called? The Crushing Weight of Unbearable Talent, or whatever it's called, the new Nick Cage movie. I'm seeing that tonight. It just came out. I've got tickets for 7:30. I'm very excited. I'm kind of a Nick Cage fan, and it's him making fun of himself. And so I was a huge fan of his from the 90s movies and stuff. So that I am super excited about tonight. So that's what's going on with me. Thanks for asking. How to get this channel off the ground, says Amanda Morgan. Well, I don't know how to answer that without looking at the channel, because I'll need to know something about said channel. So it's just going to be easier. I type URL, and let's do a quick search. And so, things to help. Let's get Amanda Morgan off the ground. Now, first off, let me make sure I've got the right Amanda Morgan, because even in channel results, I'm seeing 2. I have too many windows here. Okay, so we're looking for the one with the purple fuchsia pink background, something like that, and that's neither of these. So your channel name, problematic. Prison prostitution talk. Holy cow. Wow. So there's some interesting content creators with that name. I'm having trouble finding you. Not a great sign. This tells me that your SEO for your channel name is not on point. I'm going to filter now by just channels. And scan for the purple. One thing that's nice, that purple background does stand out. Where are you? You haven't helped me. I mean, I want to help you. I swear I do. But, I'm just not... I don't think I'm seeing it. It's just, apparently it's a super common name. But I'm wondering if this is going to be a forever scroll. Like, how many channels have this name? I now immediately, for some reason, want to know how many channels have this name. So I think part of it... Oh, wait, I think I found you. Cool. That's exciting. I'm just going to copy that link in case I lose you again, because... And this isn't everyone, but... Amanda Morgan... There are 235 channels by that name, and I wasn't even done loading the search results. So I think that might be part of the problem. And the thing is, your channel name tells me nothing about you. So I think that if you can, if it's not too late to change your channel name, you might want to add something to the channel name. I just happened to, my eyes just quickly glanced at the description, and the word Pokemon jumped out. So if it was Amanda Morgan Pokemon, that would be easier to find, easier to market, easier to brand. And in case you didn't watch my paid channel review that I published yesterday, I went on a bit of a tear talking about privacy. And so every time I see these channel names where it seems like somebody's first and last name, I get nervous. And I get nervous because, if that is your real name, and I'm kind of hoping it ain't. I'm kind of hoping your channel name is a lie, which is weird, but I worry because if they have your first and last name, this audience that might not yet exist yet, they exist in the future for you maybe, that's a lot of personal information. Now, people know that my name is Ray, but hopefully not a whole lot more than that, because if I were to, kind of become suddenly famous and whatever, blow up overnight, I wouldn't want to worry about my identity being stolen, me being impersonated, people, I don't know, like harassing my family about stuff. People who disagree with some of the things I say, and sometimes I can be very blunt, they react strongly. I've received threats. It's kind of become second nature that, like, I'll be threatened maybe once a month in some respect, and the threat will expand to include my family at least every 6 months or so, annually at least. So they threaten to kill me and my family. And that's really harsh, and that can be jarring, and I apologize if that was triggering for anyone, but that's just the way of the crazy internet sometimes. And so I believe, and I have believed since like the 90s, in security by obscurity. I want a brand you can find and recognize. I want Vacation Impossible and Small YouTubers Boost to be on your mind. I want you to see it, I want you to like it and click on it when you see it and have a positive impact. I want it to have a positive impact on the audience, and I want people to have a positive association with it. And that's great. But it doesn't have to be as much about me. And so the people don't know my full name, hopefully. And thankfully, I have a relatively common full name. There's at least if you did know my first and last name and were to search me on a search engine, you get like 300 different people. I'd be one of them, and I'd be very deep in the results. And I think that one thing that I did, I probably shouldn't say too much, but it was a long time ago, and I think it's actually now since gone from the internet. They say the internet's forever, but not for everything. Some websites go out of business. So, anyways, the point is that it's just something to be conscious of. And also, when it is just a first and last name, the first and last name on its own doesn't tell us what your channel is about. And so it's almost like violating is a strong word, but violating your privacy, risking identity theft, whatever it might be, for not a lot of gain. There's not a lot of SEO value in that unless it's really all about you and what have you. So that's just some initial thoughts, is your channel needs to be more searchable. And so let's say that whether or not Amanda Morgan is your real first and last name, if that is the brand that you are locked into and that you want, cool, that's your choice. I'm not going to tell you different. I might suggest different, but I won't be I won't push too hard. Then what you would want to do is in your channel description somewhere also say Amanda Morgan. Right now it says, hi, I am Amanda, and I play Pokemon online for fun. I do, etc., etc. And so if Morgan, the name Morgan, does not appear anywhere in your channel description, that is part of why you are so far down in search results, why 200 other channels came up before you. And so one of the things you're going to want to do is put and this is for everybody, somewhere in your channel description should be your full channel name. Maybe not at the beginning. At the beginning, that's kind of redundant if people already see it in search results. Put it after the first three lines, first three sentences, whatever, but it should be in there somewhere. And also, speaking about the previous channel we looked at where they had no channel tags, at the very least, you should have a channel tag that is your channel name, so that when someone searches your channel name, when those things are in alignment, it pushes you up in the results. So that's one thing that would be helpful. It's a nice picture. I like the background. It's not readily apparent that it's Pokemon. I think that I like the purple, I like the fuchsia, but if it was sort of the red of the Pokeball, that might be a bit more on brand. But again, I really like that purple fuchsia color, so I would kind of suggest you keep it. The white outline, I don't know that that's adding much, but let's take a quick look here. Let me just pause. Whoa. And that's one of the things. I love TubeBuddy, but once you open Channelytics, it's like a little yappy dog that won't go away. Until you refresh your browser, basically. Let me just take a quick look, make sure chat's not totally losing its mind. Oh yeah, so it was how to get off the ground. Oh, if I go back, you have 84 videos and 256 subscribers. So, I mean, it's not completely a new channel. You see what I mean? Channelytics will just not leave you alone once you start it. So you got 9,000 views, and you created the channel in 2021. So I would say your rate of growth is not bad. A couple of things in your banner. You've got this YouTube icon. Not great. Not great. If you search YouTube brand assets, you can actually get the proper PNG of the YouTube logo. So if you want to use it, get the right one. Get a clean one that scales well and looks professional. It's like a zip download. They have it for you. They make it available. So just go get it. And so you'll see on the Small YouTubers Boost channel, I will sometimes have the YouTube play button all over the place in my thumbnails. Part of it is because I want at a glance people to know that video is going to be covering the topic of YouTube. And so that's a simple improvement that you can make there on the banner. Where it says subscribe, take that out of there. It doesn't do anything. It's not great. I mean, people, if they're not subscribed, then maybe they'll think they are if they saw it. I'm not really sure what you're trying to... I mean, I want to say I'm not sure what you're trying to accomplish there, but I think what you are trying to accomplish is maybe subconsciously remind people to subscribe, and there are better ways of doing it than that. And so, I mean, at the very least, take the D off subscribed. But I would remove that, and I would remove, honestly, the YouTube play button there. Your channel's not about YouTube. People know that they can subscribe when they're on YouTube. There's a subscribe button you'll see right here that'll actually do something. Clicking on the banner does nothing. So little things like that. We've got a lot of tips. Let me just see here. Okay, yeah, so like the word Morgan appears as part of these non-clickable URLs. And that's one of the things, this was a weird fight in the Small YouTubers Boost group recently. It was like a week or two ago, I posted reminding people, don't put links in your channel description because they're not clickable. Put them down in your social links so they are clickable. And people were like calling me a liar and all this craziness and saying, well, it works for me. And I'm like, yeah, you know, the only way this works for you, if someone takes the time to highlight it, right-click, choose copy, or open link or whatever, paste it up here, you know, and people are lazy, they're not going to do it, especially if you put those links in your social links down here, they're clickable, people will click down there. So I don't think this is a good use of space. I think this space could be better used to tell people, why are you on YouTube? And those of you who are familiar with my channel, you know what I'm reaching for. Simon Sinek's Start With Why. I strongly recommend this book. There should be a link to it on Amazon in the description of this live stream. It's an affiliate link, but whatever. Or just check out Simon Sinek's TED Talk. It's like the second or third most watched TED Talk ever. And it just talks about the importance of communicating why you do a thing to your audience. Because when they align with your values and your why, then they want to support you and do all the things that a true fan might do. Watch every video, buy everything you sell, subscribe, notifications on, set to all that fun stuff. Maybe promote you and share your videos, all those things. And how you get people motivated to do that, one of the ways, there's many ways, but one is when you make it clear that your values align with theirs, and you've got something, purposeful that you're trying to do. Support indie games, whatever it is. Another thing here is like Pokemon and indie games. Well, Pokemon is a major brand, as I'm sure you well know. The Pokemon Company and all that. Started as a Game Boy game with Nintendo back in the day. But I don't think there's indie games for Pokemon because Pokemon's an expensive license. And so I think it might be worth thinking about what is your why. And again, this book really can help with that. Where if you're... Why is focused. The more focused it is, the better, because it's clearer, easier to understand, both for your audience and for the algorithm. And so if you're doing Pokemon and indie games, then you're kind of splitting your focus. It's like O'Brien on Deep Space Nine. His mother said, if you try to combine eating and talking, you'll end up doing neither very well. And so if you just focus on Pokemon or just focus on indie games, the algorithm will reward you. As an artist, you might not appreciate that. You might get bored. You might not want to niche down that much, and that's fine, but that's a conscious choice you should make. If you want to just do that one thing, and you can, that's great. But if that would burn you out, if that would depress you, if that would, keep you make you unmotivated, then maybe having a harder time with the algorithm, but making content that you find fulfilling is the better way to go. Your growth might be a little bit slower, but you'll be happier. And the thing is if you burn out and you give up, then that'll end up going nowhere anyways. It'll just come to a firm stop. Whereas slower growth will still be growth over time. So those are just some little things to think about. Yeah, I need a review for my channel. It's stuck, man. Old AF review says, this is amazing. Thank you so much. And so, yeah, I mean, I kind of did a light hint of a channel review there. You got some playlists here, which is good. Let's check out your homepage. And yeah, you got something serving as a channel trailer. It's 42 seconds. That's pretty good. It's interesting. Your name is Amanda and you're into Pokemon. There was another Amanda that was really into Pokemon. And so I'm just kind of wondering, you're not the same person, are you? She's one of the people who was banging on me to do this live stream. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want to make it sound like I'm unappreciative. I am. Because that kind of stuff can be motivated when people are like, come on, where have you been? We missed you and stuff like that. That's lovely to hear. So let's see. Introducing Pokemon Master. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good description and a name for the channel trailer. What do you got here? Uploads, popular uploads. I'm not a fan of created playlists. I don't think people really look at this. It's a little too busy. There's a little too much going on, regardless of what your thumbnail looks like. I don't think that people engage with this very much. It's my personal opinion. So instead, I think having some curated things, Pokemon Go, what have you, would be a good way to possibly do that. You got a couple of shorts, looks like, and that's kind of interesting. I don't know what an angel number is, but the shorts don't feel. Wait a minute, hold on. I know that logo. That's Amanda. This is Amanda used to be Amanda's Right Life, right? I knew it. I knew it. I thought I knew that face. Welcome back. Thanks for kicking me in the butt, getting me to do this live stream. Everyone who is enjoying this live stream, full credit goes in part to Amanda for motivating me to do it, because I swear to God, if it hadn't been for her pushing me, I probably just would have been editing something for my travel channel today. So thank you, Amanda. Oh, hey, and Small YouTubers Boost is one of her favorites. Thank you. Got Curious Coder, it's one of our moderators as well. So that's awesome. Definitely a core member of the Small YouTubers Boost community. So yeah, and I've done channel reviews for Amanda before, different things over time. And so I'm curious, Amanda, how many channels do you have at the moment, out of curiosity? Because, I mean, credit to you, you put the work in, and I mean, I wish I saw it going easier for you. I really do, because I think that you've got the right attitude, you got the hustle, and I think your day will come. I just am difficult at predicting the future. I'm not sure what shape it will take. Let's see here. Who else do we have kicking around? At Home with VK says hi. Woman Outdoors says hi, everyone. Are you watching from the outdoors? You're probably indoors. That's okay. Let's see. No increase, no decrease. Oh, that was the other person's subscriber growth, I think, is what they were talking about. Let's check the Chanalytics here. Yeah, okay. So, there could be a bit more in the keywords. Getting some light views there. How's subscriber growth? Got a couple bumps here. Oh, okay. April 1st, you got one. April 12th. How old is this channel? Have you just been re-envisioning? No, because that was the 21st, or 2021, that's right. Making sure you're not just like re-envisioning and starting over again and again. And so that's one of the things too, is like you've been in the community for a long time, at least from my perspective, in the Small YouTubers Boost community. And so sometimes these things, it's just a matter of sticking with it and grinding things out over time and being patient. Let's see. At Home with VK, how's he explaining everything? I'm speaking English? No, I'm kidding. I'm using I'm trying to tailor my response to what I think the audience is. And that's why I'm kind of like poking around channels and stuff to try and figure out like where you are in your journey. So, like, for example, for people who are, getting 1 or 2 subscribers maybe a day, and they're focused on subscribers, sub 500 subscribers, I'm probably not going to jump into saying get the most expensive version of TubeBuddy and do A/B testing right away. You can, but maybe there's other things that you want to do before getting to that point and making that investment. And so I'm trying to tailor the advice a little bit to the audience based on my tiny, ignorant little bit of knowledge that I can poke at. And so I'm responding to chat, but I am late. I'm horrendously bad at falling behind in chat, so I do apologize for that, but it ain't gonna get better anytime soon, so don't say you weren't warned. And so, I'm just answering and responding to things in chat chronologically. That's sort of how this goes. This channel's not monetized. Maybe if it's monetized one day, we'll do it by super chat, but in the meantime, you get first come, first serve, and free. It's not a bad deal. Let's see here. I feel like I need to switch to this mindset as well. Focus on views and have fun doing videos. 100%. Keep it 100. That's absolutely it. And, we are here to help, show some of the little technical things. Oh, make sure you put an info card on every video, an end card on every video. Make sure you get your watermark on your videos. Which is a channel level setting. You set it once and forget it. A lot of those little technical things that people might not know about, or might find intimidating, or might be confused by, I'll try to explain it in a different way. If it doesn't make sense, maybe you watched Roberto Blake's video about it and it didn't totally land. Maybe I can say it in a way that might make a bit more sense to some people. I don't know. But that's part of it. And so, we try to show you those technical things, but I don't want people to become obsessed with the technical things, because I think that way lies madness, and frustration. Because, I had somebody lose it on me, about a month ago. It was so funny. They were negotiating with me about a sponsorship, and I kind of, they didn't feel super professional, so I was kind of slow walking it, waiting to see exactly what they were about before agreeing to anything. And then at some point, they just lost their minds and started sending me abusive messages. It was weird. They were like, oh yeah, let me get back to you with some information. And then all of a sudden they just were like, oh, you think SEO is the solution to everything? That's all you ever talk about. And they sent me all these abusive messages. And I was at my day job or something, so I didn't see it until later. And so I checked my messenger at the end of the day, and there's 25 messages from this person losing their damn mind at me. And it was based on this false assumption that I think SEO is all you need to succeed. And I've never once said that in my life. It can be a turnkey. I think it's an important thing you need. It can lead to success, but it's one of tons of other things. And that's one of the things I've noticed, particularly over the last year or so in the small YouTuber creator community, is this fixation on, oh, I got my CTR up, but I only have, so many subscribers. And it's yeah, but you have 2 videos. And I've been saying this from day frickin' one. Before I created this channel, before people asked me for my advice, which is why I created this channel, by the way. It was other people's ideas. But it's YouTube. Success on YouTube is more than one thing. And so if you find yourself fixating on more than one thing, and if it's making you miserable or not working for you, you need to focus on something else. You got to try something else. It is, it's delightfully complicated. I say delightfully because it means that if you're struggling with one thing, there are other things you can find to work on and improve, and you can come back to that thing that you struggle with. I have my areas that I'm not strong with. I am not strong in lighting. You can probably tell. Partly because I'm a little photosensitive and I don't like tons of light in my face, and so part of it is just a physical thing. But I'm not an expert in lighting, but I understand audio fairly well. Retention and view duration, not my strong suit. But SEO, I think I got a pretty good handle on. And so part of it is understanding where your strengths and weaknesses are. And then, when you're in the right mindset, trying to find places and sources of information that you're comfortable with. And that presented in the way that you want. And so I'm happy to be one voice among many, one option among many. If my way of presenting it is helpful to you, awesome. And if not, hey, Roberto Blake, I mentioned before, lovely, love watching his stuff. There's other people out there as well. I'm not sure exactly what Curious Coder is doing on her channel these days, but she's a solid person with SEO, for example. So there's a lot of different places out there. But really, if you're having fun doing the videos, I want to get back to that, because technical stuff is nice, but ultimately your focus really should be on the videos you're creating. If you're having fun doing it, it comes through the camera every time, and your audience feels it, and so they are happier to be there. They enjoy it. You come off as sincere, not as just asking for money or being too corporate or being whatever. One of the things people talk about is like, oh, why do people not watch the news? Well, it's a guy, or thankfully more so now also a woman, but too often a guy, in a suit reading off a teleprompter, and it feels insincere. So a lot of people rather go to someone like Philly D, who's reacting to things and giving you the news but it feels more personal, it feels more sincere and authentic and relatable. And so when you are miserable making your videos, you tend not to, and I'm saying any person, not any specific you, but when someone is miserable making their videos, it can come across. If they're just there for the money or for the metrics, they want the numbers, the social proof, the bragging rights, the little, the hit of endorphins from getting, a new metric or milestone, sometimes that can come across. And depending on your niche, it's generally a bad fit. If you're in the entrepreneurial space, then yeah, your audience might be right there. They're like, yeah. I'm like, yes, this person's motivated and they're serious and they're professional in their business, and that's great. That's why I'm here, and that can be awesome. But for like outside of that niche, it's generally a bad fit. If you want to go to a channel for relationship advice and they're just talking about how they hit a new subscriber milestone, that's a bad fit. It's a disconnect, right? And so when you're having fun, that's when that's a sign of being in flow. One of the things the different specialists in efficiency and ergonomics and et cetera talk about in business is being in flow, and that's when the ideas are flowing and the work seems easy and you're having fun and you're being creative and you're expressing yourself, and at the end of the day you feel maybe tired but rewarded, and you feel fulfilled, and that's great. And if YouTube can give you that sense at virtually no cost and possibly even an income, that is the sweet spot. And so I really, like, one of the reasons I really bang on this remembering your why thing is remember why you made a video in the first place. Because if you've lost that, okay, it's not fun for me anymore, but I got those numbers I wish I had at the beginning, but I've lost the joy. Is that success? I don't know that it would be. I don't think it is. It's a form of success, maybe, but I think those of us who can do both, we're sort of the joyous ones and the successful ones, and that will have the long-term stuff. Like if you start off with a great idea and it was fun, and then you got so focused on subscribers and metrics and things like that, and that you started doing just only things to get those numbers, and maybe you found that success, you're probably going to stop as soon as you hit what you need. Like I have this goal. This is a crazy idea, but I did the math, and to live on a cruise ship for the rest of my life, I need $2.1 million. And so if I did that, I'd still be making videos. I'd just be doing it from the cruise ship, right? Whereas if I didn't have fun making my videos, as soon as I got my bag, as soon as I hit my 2.1 mil, and I'm nowhere near getting any of it, before you make the wrong assumption. But like if I got that money from the lotto tomorrow, I'd still be making videos. I'd still be here. There's other things in my life I might not be doing, but I'd still be here. And so I think that's important. That's a sense of fulfillment that people get, and that breeds longevity. Whereas if somebody, they lose their spark of enjoyment of the purpose of their why, and maybe they're finding success, but as soon as they get what they need, whatever that might be, maybe they just want to hit this number they can flaunt for the rest of their lives, or the money they need to live off of the rest of their lives, whatever it is, they're going to stop. And so I like the idea of playing the long game, the game that doesn't end. It's another thing that Simon Sinek talks about, the infinite game. And so in order to, and you'll hear it time and time again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And to sort of stay in the marathon, you need to have fun. So I think that's, yeah. And yeah, focus on views, because views is the linchpin to everything. You can't have anything else without views. You're never going to make an affiliate sale without somebody looking at the link and clicking on it. You're not going to get the subscribers without somebody watching it. And views is really where all the magic happens and the value happens, whether it's financial or other forms of fulfillment. The messages I get on some of my videos about you saved me money. Some of my videos have helped people get stopped from getting lost at airports. Somebody has said, like, I was lost at the airport and about to miss my flight. I saw your video. It showed me where to go. That was not the intent of that video. But like those things, that feeling, I cannot fully put into words when somebody says something like that. Or another great example, and this has been happening a little bit more and more, which is just amazing. Someone says, like, I want to travel, but my autistic child is really uncomfortable in unfamiliar situations. And they watched your video, and then they agreed to go on the trip, and they had a great time. I mean, it brings me to tears sometimes, some of these comments I get. It's amazing. And you're never going to have any of that without views. Not any of it. So that's why I think that that's important, because that's where it all begins. Bit of a rant there, a little preachy, but whatever. It's my show. Mr. Cow's not here. He can't tell me different. These are the best. That's what I'm doing with my Pokemon Go series. Yeah. Are we Pokemon Go friends, Amanda? If not, we should be. I should put my Pokemon Go number in chat or something. Let's see here. I need to get on Twitter. You're like a fountain of knowledge, my friend. Thank you so much, Old AF Reviews. I'm a little on the older side myself, so appreciate it. And the thing is about Twitter, yeah, I mean, just sign up in the username of your channel so that somebody else doesn't take it. Otherwise, you blow up overnight, and the next day somebody is pretending to be selling Bitcoin or something. It's happened. I've seen it happen. It happens too much, and it bothers me. And so my advice is for basically every social media platform you can think of, go sign up and create an account in the name of your channel to lock down the earliest join date that you can. And to quote Toad the Wet Sprocket, the best time to change was many years ago. The next best thing is starting where you are. So go sign up for all those social media platforms in the name of your channel. Try to lock down the usernames and the URLs that align with your channel. And maybe you'll use them later, maybe you won't, but at least you've called dibs on it. And that can be helpful. And then, with regards to Twitter specifically, yeah, put it on your social links. Like Amanda's done here, you can see that Twitter link there. And whenever you share a video, sharing to Twitter is the easiest thing in the world. Whenever you post a video, you just click on the video, share, Twitter. You can tweak the tweet if you want, or not. Click post. Boom. Super easy. Now, some people are worried about, oh, what if I don't look professional on Twitter? I want to look good, in the different places, and that's fine. Not yet having filled out the profile is not ideal, but it's better than not having the profile. But if you want to take it one step further, I have a video on this channel that you can watch, maybe not right now, but maybe when we're done here. Go check out. It's called the Twitter Profile Audit. And basically what I do is I walk you through about 6 or 7 steps where it will identify all the things that you need to do, and there are not a lot of them, and they're not hard, to make your Twitter profile look professional and complete. And so anyone who wants to add me on Pokemon Go, I'm going to put my friend code. Just for fun. Just for fun. Why not? If we're not having fun at it, why are we even here? I should probably put some spaces in. If you're anything like me, I'm dyslexic as hell sometimes. There you go. Anybody wants to add me on Pokemon Go, you are at liberty to do so. I will send you gifts from the West Coast, mostly. All right. Let's see here. I'm still here if you're wondering. Awesome. Glad you're here, Cartoon Universe. If you had any questions, anything specific, I don't think you had asked anything specific. Just helping with the sound check, which I do appreciate. I'm glad you're still here. But if there's anything in particular you want to ask about, I'll be doing my best to try and answer. Amanda, I'm always here. And I appreciate that. Seriously, people like you, Amanda, keep me going when it comes to this stuff. So I can't thank you enough. I am glued to the screen. So much knowledge. Brain explodey. That is a huge compliment. Thank you so much. That is fantastic at home with VK. I've been telling him to do more of these. Yeah, that's it. Like Amanda, she's the cheerleader, absolutely, or like the butt kicker as needed. And I do sometimes need that swift kick in the rear. And Cap Gamer, hey everyone, thumb up the stream, please and thanks, appreciate that, love it when people say stuff like that in chat. And hey, you know what, you want to get some love in whatever community or niche you operate in. If somebody's got a live stream and you like them, saying stuff like that in the chat, it's awesome. It's awesome. Don't mind me if I keep rubbing my eye. I think I scratched the inside of my eyelid recently or something, and so it's been bugging for a couple of days. Don't mind me. Not a good enough excuse not to go live, I figured. Amanda would have me. She'd have my ass. How to get my channel to start increasing? We are at a stalemate here for me. Oh, that's Amanda. Okay, I did take a look. I love your Facebook group, and yeah, the killed travel channels. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I knew that when the a certain global health concern, as we used to call it, back when YouTube was freaking out about not monetizing anything related to it. I knew that it was going to have an impact on my travel channel, and so I thought about it. I gave it some serious thought, and I'd seen what some other channels were doing, and I gave it some thought too. They did funny things like, oh, vacation in my backyard, or, oh, Airbnb my couch, or whatever. And so I thought about doing that, and I decided not to because it didn't feel in line with what I had done before. And the thing is I like to make evergreen content, and so I wasn't like super keen on the idea of people coming to my channel in 5 years' time, because I have videos that have been performing for over 12 years. I don't want people coming back years later and being like, "Oh, it's a pandemic video. I don't want to watch that." I like the evergreen nature of it. I want it to be kind of valuable for all time. Now, that having been said, I did eventually do a couple things like tips on how to take a road trip safely during COVID, and so because I thought that was some important information to have out there, even if it is time limited, and it might not be. Who knows what the future holds? But yeah, and so I basically just kind of felt like I did a little acting, nothing professional, when I was in high school and stuff, and so I'm familiar with the idea of a production going dark. And that's what I thought of for my travel channel. I had some stuff that I needed to edit. I had a bit of a backlog, as I always do. And so I was slowly working my way through that. I didn't feel like there was a rush to get anything out. And so I felt like Vacation Impossible kind of went dark. And so while that stage, that play, went dark, I was focusing more on Small YouTubers Boost, for example. And so that's when I started putting out some of our key videos that exist now. That are, I think, some really good resources. Things about motivation, SEO, stuff like that. And so now we're in this weird place where it's kind of like, okay, travel's kind of coming back and the channel's picking up again. And it's kind of cool because my travel channel started picking back up again, absent anything I did. I wasn't having a major push. I wasn't doing advertising. I wasn't producing amazing new videos or anything. It was slowly coming back to life on its own. And so it's kind of interesting because the audience came back to it. And so with that I came more back to it, realizing, hey, I'm starting to get comments again, starting to get those views again, the subscribers again. And it's like, and people are making requests. And so I love to help people. And so it's a bit of a balance at the moment, and it's tipping a little bit more towards travel, but we'll see how it goes. And that's one thing that's nice about having these two channels and a variety of interests, but having each one on its own channel, so I'm not confusing the algorithm. But that means I can also kind of fulfill my eclectic creative needs. I feel like doing a tutorial today, don't really have anything good on travel, I'm going to go do a tutorial on Adobe Premiere or something. And so it's nice having those options, and also not having all my eggs in one basket, so that one thing falls down, I might be able to pick it up somewhere else. Oh, and thank you, AnCab Gamer. I do hope your travel channel rebuilds. And you know what's actually kind of interesting? Even though the views aren't necessarily at their height again, and the subscriber growth is nowhere near what it was at its height, our revenue we had our best revenue month ever for AdSense last month. And that's kind of weird. Our CPMs have gone through the roof. I used to pull in an average CPM in the neighborhood of $7. Now I'm in the average of like 14. So I'm making twice as much money on the same number of views. Also, my older content, I had content ID matches before I had a guy who wrote music for me. So also the views have shifted more towards the monetized content. So for those two reasons, monetarily, in terms of AdSense, not in terms of the affiliate links. Amazon links, yes, I got my first Amazon check this month. That was kind of exciting. That took 2 years, but really it picked up like around November, and that was cool. And so affiliate link for Amazon's been going pretty good, but only Amazon. Nothing else has been actually doing particularly well affiliate link for me lately. Let's see here. Merchandising. Nice Spaceballs reference. Little Mel Brooks or anybody who, the old AF crowd should get that reference, I hope. Merchandising. I'm happy you didn't give up on YouTube. I couldn't. And that's one of the things. It's like that Alanis Morissette song, Can't Not. I can't not be creating something in some way. I mean, and it's funny because I don't think of myself as an artist generally. Like sometimes I use the word, but I consciously make myself use it to show respect for other people who are in the space, who really are artists of YouTube. I don't consider myself that. Maybe I am, but I don't think of myself that way. I just think of myself as a guy who, for whatever reason, finds fulfillment in helping people, and my medium is video. So, like, my t-shirt sales haven't been great because I'm not a graphic artist that way. And I had a blog years and years ago. The HuffPo actually wanted to pick it up, but not pay me anything. And I was like, go to hell. So sometimes the written word, but I find that my interest in the written word wanes. It ebbs and flows. And so sometimes I'll have a bunch of stuff that I'll post on my Patreon, or maybe something even on Tumblr on occasion. But by and large, the thing that I always come back to is video. Video is my medium. And so I couldn't not. Before there was YouTube, I was filming all the way back in 2001 on a Handycam with a high 8 tape that I converted. I digitized. Our first season was, I think, 114 pixels tall in resolution. Our second season was 144. That was a big jump for us. I was sharing it on ICQ, MSN Messenger, and I was trying to host the real media files on a variety of GeoCities sites that I all had in a web so that I could somehow get my videos to an audience. I had, unbeknownst to myself or YouTube, been waiting for YouTube for years before it came along. When YouTube did come along, I signed up, and it took me a couple years before I started uploading, just because I was busy with life. But, you know, I uploaded my full back catalog, so you can go back and see our old videos of, like, Hell's Gate and Playland at, like, the original source footage, 144 pixels tall. And so I just can't not. I'll take breaks. I'll focus on other things. I'll get busy. I'll get sick. I'll get tired. I'll get whatever happens. But I always come back to it. I can't not. And it's funny because how I feel at the end of the day when I've created something versus when I haven't is a very different feeling. I've really come to notice. I actually learned this by watching some of Roberto Blake's videos, because he talks about, like, create something awesome, create something every day. Sometimes in his videos or live streams, he talks about, like, how creators have to create to feel normal, to feel like themselves, whatever it is. It's like something inside them is driving them, and there's no off switch. It may have like a volume control, it might have a dimmer, but no off position on that. And so that's kind of what it's like for me. And so if I feel like writing, I'll go create a guide in our Facebook group, or maybe I'll write a post that I think is informative or funny or something like that. Or I'll work on editing a video, or I'll improve an old thumbnail, or I'll do something. But on days when I do that, at least something, and I've created something and I've put it out into the world in some way, I feel better than in days when I don't. And it's not externally imposed. It's not because I know that Amanda's going to come with a whip, although, you know, that's motivating too. But it's that it feels like I wasn't myself. I don't know, this is starting to feel like therapy, because I don't think I've actually thought of it or said that before. But when I'm not, and that's weird, because, like, I don't know if that makes me a narcissist on any audience. But it's like, yeah, when I've done something like this live stream takes something out of me, and I'll be tired afterwards. I'll go lay down. But at the end of the day, I'll feel better than if I hadn't put something out into the world. Alternatively, the one exception is if I was not able to put something out, maybe the flu or something. So thus far, I don't think I've had COVID. You know, if I'm sick, whatever. I actually had a couple strokes, and I was in a hospital a while back. You could follow that journey on Instagram. But even when that was happening, like, I check my phone and I get one of those comments where it was like, you know, one of those things, like, I had anxiety about returning to the airport, and then I watched your video about the airport at Dallas or whatever, and it really, all my anxiety just washed away. And when I went there, I knew exactly where to go, and I was actually happy to be back at the airport again. And so thank you so much for making this video. And, like, I get a comment like that, and I've created nothing that day, but my content is still out there. It is still performing. Like, one of the metaphors I often use for YouTube, it's like every video you make is a little soldier that you send out on a mission, and you're never going to know where that mission goes, but every now and then it'll come back with some returns. Maybe you'll get views, subscribers, or comments like that, or an affiliate link click, or whatever. And we're never going to know the full extent of the impact we've had on the world. I recently had a short that I put out on this video. Man, it was giving me flack for not putting new stuff out. I did some shorts. Check out the shorts. I had a short, it was YouTube Takes Faith, I think. And so one of the things I talk about in that short, I did a different version of it for TikTok. And so I'm not sure it was the TikTok or the YouTube version, but one of the things that I talked about is that we're never going to know the full impact of what we've created. And so if we do it with heart and with love and with a goal and with our values and whatever it might be, hopefully we're putting positivity out into the world, whether we're making somebody laugh. You could be on, I have rant videos where I curse out a company for misbehaving, but even then I'm informing people, maybe I'm educating them, maybe I'm amusing them, and so even that content that could be viewed as maybe negative can have positive impacts. And so we're never going to know all the people we made smile or laugh or think differently or learn something new. God bless the ones who take the time to comment to let us know, because that's a feeling like no other. But And so it is an act of faith. And I might be overselling it here, but I think there's a certain nobility to it, because we're not necessarily asking for things in return. Sure, I'd love it if you supported me on Patreon. Sure, I'd love it if you subscribe and all that stuff. But really, even if that doesn't happen, if you're one of those people that's anything like me, and you feel that like that's amazing to not know the extent of the impact, but to know that it's largely positive, that's a pretty cool feeling. And so those days where you're down and you're not feeling well and you're not motivated, sometimes one of those comments comes along and it makes all the difference. But even if it doesn't, you can easily use your imagination to say like, okay, I got 100 views today. How many of those people learned something? How many of those people smiled? How many of those people laughed? And that can be, I think, some of this positive self-talk. And so instead of having a negative self-talk, like, oh, somebody unsubscribed again today, you don't know what that is. Maybe their account got shut down. Here's a funny story. I lost 2 subscribers one day a few years ago. And you know what it was? Is a close friend of mine. He had forgotten his password a few times on YouTube and had created multiple accounts. And so one day he found where he had saved all his passwords, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to get rid of all these duplicate accounts." And so he opened up like different windows that logged into different whatever, and he made sure that he was he put all of his subscriptions onto the one channel or the one account, and then he just deleted the others because they were redundant to him. I lost 2 subscribers that day. But I didn't upset anybody. It had nothing in the world to do with me. When you see that you lose a subscriber, it might have something to do with you, but it might not. And so automatically jumping to that conclusion that's negative and self-defeating is self-defeating. It's not helpful. And so I am giving you permission. If you need to hear it from somebody, here you go. I give you permission to let yourself off the hook for losing subscribers, because it might not be you. You can dive into your analytics. If you go deep enough, you can see closed accounts. And like you could actually like take some of those numbers off your shoulders if that's helpful for you. I don't think it's a good use of your time, because you could use that time to do something to gain you something instead of understanding loss. Loss aversion is a big deal with people. I understand that. People are more afraid of losing than they are excited about gaining. And there have been like neuroscience studies to prove it, psychological studies. So, I mean, it's a general trend, not everybody all the time, but generally speaking, that's the case. And so it's really important that we try to keep our mental focus on the positive, the productive. Like one of the things, I have a short where I say, don't check YouTube's math, because it gets you nothing. It won't make you happier. It doesn't get you more views. It doesn't get you anything. So don't do it. And so, yeah, if you can, I could never give up YouTube. YouTube would have to quit me. They'd have to shut me down. I'd have to accidentally break their rules or something. You would have to get a whip and a chair to keep me away from YouTube for an extended period. And if you can't find me on Small YouTubers Boost, I'll be on Vacation Impossible. I'll be in the Facebook groups. I'll be somewhere. You can't keep me quiet, even if it might be a good idea. Put Amanda Morgan Pokemon. Yeah. That's the only way I show up. Oh, well, and that's it right there. When I was searching for your channel, you were saying put Pokemon in there. Well, then maybe it should be part of the name. Can you send him a link to your channel? Yeah, I don't think I allow links in the chat. Not defended, but you did skip over my chat. Cartoon Universe, what did I miss? What did I miss? I'm still here if you're wondering. You said, hey, Ray, and you gave me an audio check. I'm not sure what I'm missing here. Was there a question or a request that I missed? Maybe it somehow didn't show up for me. If it included a link, it might have not presented. I think any messages with links get blocked automatically. But please let me know if and what I may have missed. I should add Pokemon to it. Sure. How about change the name to Mandy Pokemon? Pokemon with Amanda Morgan? Yeah, that could work. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. Because that puts the Pokemon at the beginning of it, too. Which, I mean, again, for people who don't know who you are, that's going to be what you want to do to bring them in. Pokemon with Amanda M. Yeah, that works. Be a mystery. And, there is something to be said for that. Because, yeah, like, what's the Sarah McLachlan song, Building a Mystery? So yeah, there's merit to having some mystique. People want to know more. Like I say that you want your thumbnail to tell a whole story, so people know what your video is about. But don't give away the whole store. If it can tell people what it's about, but still entice them to click, that's the magic combination where you get the love. That kind of happened by a happy accident. And so yeah, a little mystique. Like for example, I try to take negatives and turn them into positives. And here's how. One, because of all my various commitments and health challenges with myself and my family, I'm not able to maintain a consistent schedule with live streams. And so I could be here apologizing for that, or I can just beat myself up over it, or I can say, look, you don't know when the live stream is going to happen because I don't know. So subscribe with notifications on so you get notified when the live stream happens. That was a conscious choice I made. I knew I couldn't make that commitment. And so I thought to myself, how can I turn that into a positive? And so I was like, you know what this does, though? It incentivizes having notifications on, and it creates a bit of a sense of mystery. And so I'm going to take this thing that frankly limits the hell out of me, and I'm going to turn it into a selling point. I don't know how well it's worked, but it's certainly a whole lot better than beating yourself up over it. Ray, I use Paint 3D for my graphics. Interesting. I have no experience with that, so I'm not sure how robust a program that is. Pokemanda. Interesting idea, ANCAP Gamer there. I'm not sure. I don't know. Phonetically, don't know. But it's an interesting idea, and I appreciate the sharing of ideas in the chat. That's great. When we help each other out, even if we don't accept each other's ideas, it gets us thinking. It's good. I need my computer back. It's this week. Yeah, I need to upgrade my computer. One of the things I'm thinking of doing is an unboxing of my new hard drive. And so I want to film that before I install it, but I'm running out of hard drive space. But my... This is so funny. My tripod is in Portland. I was in Portland, and we were going to film a podcast. We weren't able to for just being busy and other reasons, and family illness, actually. But I accidentally, and it's rookie mistake, I left my tripod in the hotel. And they're texting me. They're like, oh, Mr. So-and-so, we found something in your room. And I'm like, oh my God, is it a black bag that might have a tripod in it? And they're like, oh, it's a tripod, thank God. I don't know what they thought was in it. And they were like, what would you like us to do? We can ship it to you. And I'm like, I don't have that kind of money to ship a tripod across an international border. You know how much it costs to ship to Canada from US? Forget it. I didn't say that. I just thought it real hard. And so I said, how long do you hold Lost and Found? They're like 90 days. And I was like, okay, well, it gives me an excuse to come back to your lovely town. So I'm going back to Portland next month. Going to go see my dad. But among other things that we're going to try and do on that trip, film some travel videos, etc., I'm going to go get my tripod back from the hotel. And it wasn't a very good hotel, so I won't be staying with them again. So I'm going to be like, hi, I'm here for my tripod. Goodbye. If they're like, are you checking in? I'll be like, nope. Grab my tripod and run. It was nice of them to hold it. They're lovely people. I just didn't like the facility. And their nighttime manager wasn't great. But stay tuned to Vacation Impossible to possibly hear more about that. Love when Race goes live. If I felt better, I'd get on my computer. Okay, so I guess you're watching on mobile, but hey, thanks for watching. Glad to have you here. Glad you enjoy the lives. That's always nice to hear, especially someone that know somewhat well, virtually speaking, is known for a while. Jay's KNUG. Hello, host. Hello. Well, welcome. My name is Ray. Nice to make your acquaintance, virtually speaking. Good sir or madam. I don't know if I've been called host before. I get called admin a lot. And other names that aren't great. I'll give you a hint. Made of water, frozen, and everyone looks different. Get called that often. Can you riddle me that? The Ray chuckle makes me smile. Oh, you're gonna get a facial workout today. He's got really good voice. Well, thank you. Spammers and AI apparently think so as well. Made for podcasts. At Home with VK, I am super glad that you mentioned that. I do have a podcast. It is the Vacation Impossible podcast, which can be found on your podcast streaming platform of choice. We're on Podbean, but we're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Although, if it's got podcasts, you can find Vacation Impossible there. And we take an interesting approach, actually, is we only film on location. So during the pandemic, not a lot of episodes. We haven't had many episodes recently. But we film in hotel rooms, on cruise ships, wherever we can, in parks, whatever. But that was the rule I put for the podcast. If it's a travel podcast, we're going to record it on location. And so the sound isn't always fantastic. But I just wanted to have, years before the pandemic, I didn't want it to be me sitting at home just pontificating on travel. That didn't feel to me like a really engaging or original idea. And so then the pandemic came along, and it's like, well, I'm going to keep following the rule. And that was another reason why Vacation Impossible went dark. Maybe I'm handcuffing myself. Maybe it's just a way of keeping my workload manageable. I don't know. But that's how it works. But that also means that if you want to go binge the Vacation Impossible podcast, it's not tons and tons of episodes. I think we're on episode 30 now, maybe? I'm not sure. They run on average about an hour. And I've been a guest on podcasts. So if you've got a podcast and you would like a guest to talk about travel or YouTube or whatever, feel free to reach out. I have a lot of fun being a guest on other people's shows. I enjoy that quite a lot. Partly because it's not a huge amount of work for me. I just get to, talk into a camera and have some fun. Not that dissimilar from these live streams with a little less social media stuff. If you get the chance, I'd love your feedback on my About section for my channel, as well as how my homepage is lined up. Wow. I mean, you probably know more about SEO than I do. And so the fact that you're asking is kind of I feel honored. I feel a little pressured. Okay, so I want to stay focused here. So it was About section and homepage layout. Got it. The Canva Classroom teaches you how to use Canva with weekly lessons. Canva is a program for creating custom designs. Okay, you probably dropped although the is part of the channel name, actually, I just noticed. So maybe you need to keep it for SEO reasons. Scratch that. Teaches how to use Canva. How to use Canva, that's an SEO thing. I see what you're doing there. That makes sense. Weekly lessons, you've probably heard my rant before about having a public-facing release schedule. I'm generally not fond of that, but so I wouldn't be saying anything you haven't heard before if I went on that rant again. So I'll let my past statements speak for themselves on that. Canva is a program for creating custom designs. I would consider adding maybe the word graphic in there. I mean, I don't know a lot about Canva, but my understanding is people really use it for things like thumbnails and profile pictures, maybe also possibly in t-shirt design. I don't know if they do animation. But all of that stuff could be called graphic design. And so custom designs could mean different things. I think for increased clarity, I think graphic might be good to add in there. Let's go take a look.
Have you ever
New copyright-free music. Interesting. I'm guessing that is the music that would be playing there. Go away, Chanalytics. You had your fun. You had your chance. You were helpful before. So, About section was your primary focus. Let's see here. The Canva Classroom teaches how to use Canva with weekly lessons. Canva is a program for creating custom designs. There's so many effects you can make in Canva for adding style to your social media presence, such as YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I love the way that's written up to that point. To designing things... Oh, from this to that. I get it. Okay, it took me a second to click. To designing things to sale. I think you mean for sale. To designing things for sale, such as t-shirts, business cards, and party printables. Party printables, that is an interesting phrase. I don't know I don't know how common that is, but I'm wondering what the SEO score on that is. I betcha it's probably... I don't know what the volume would be, but I bet the competition's low. And let's go unweighted. My travel channel has no interest in party printables. Okay, no, it's not that amazing. Okay, it was just a thought. If you aren't familiar with Canva, that's okay. I like that. Every expert was once a beginner. There are many underutilized Canva tools, and each month something new is available. Oh, that's interesting. They're always adding new stuff on Canva? I assume that's what you mean by each month. You're talking about Canva, the tool, not your channel? Because your channel does weekly content. How did I get started teaching Canva? A few friends asked me how I did a few designs on my YouTube channel, like it or not. I decided it was better to have a dedicated channel. Okay. Yeah, I think the second paragraph could use some tweaking. I think the first paragraph's really strong. I had a thought when I was reading the first paragraph I don't want to lose. I think, before getting into that second paragraph, I think that you could bulk up more about what Canva is. I think it could be another paragraph in there somewhere. So that we don't make these paragraphs too long. But I'm thinking something about really explaining it from just what is Canva? I don't understand, up to. Because you say it, but you say it in a certain way that is presupposing, I think, a certain level of, I don't want to be mean, literacy, intelligence, experience, exposure to the idea. I think that you could just basically say, here, riddle me this. Is Canva an application or is it a website? Can you design things in their website? Do you have to download the application? Is the application, is there a mobile application? Is it desktop? do I have to install software? And so for example, when people ask me what TubeBuddy is, I try to say the 3 platforms it's on. It is a browser plugin, a mobile app, and a website, and each of the 3 have different tools. Is Canva like that? That's one thing I don't know, and so maybe it's good that I'm completely ignorant of Canva here. And so that might make a good additional paragraph, is kind of taking people from, I don't know anything about Canva, to, oh, they make animated things too. I don't know if they do. If they don't, PlaceIt makes animated things. Affiliate link down below. That's what I use to make my intros and end screens, and sometimes I do interstitial titles and things. But how does it compare to PlaceIt? In fact, hey, that might be a video idea for you, is comparing PlaceIt and Canva one day. I don't know. If you happen to be struggling for ideas, that's not what you were asking for. So, yeah, I mean, I think the story of how you got into it is kind of good. I think I decided it was better to have a dedicated channel for Canva tutorials, so here we are. That paragraph to me feels a little kind of... that's more of a thing you say B2B, business to business, rather than something you might say directly to your audience. So I decided to create a channel focused on Canva tutorial. So I decided to create a channel focused exclusively on Canva tutorials, something like that. It's a little tweak, it's a little language tweak, but dedicated channel. It's like, that's the kind of talk I hear in Small YouTubers Boost. I don't see in front of an audience. It's a subtle thing, though. But hey, this is what you asked me to look at. I love creating the lessons because it reminds me of the days I taught preschool. I like that. A little personal history there. Especially when someone tells me that I taught them something they didn't know. I mean, that's like that little rant I went on earlier. It's beautiful. Let me know what you would like to learn in Canva because I would love to teach you. I think that's fantastic. Because it's not, like, other than that tiny language thing, it's not that I think much needs changing. I think that there could be addition. So there's the paragraph I was talking about. Another paragraph could also be talking about what can Canva do for someone? What does knowing Canva get them? Where can it take them in their journey? How can it take me from where I am to a better place? So you might want to talk about how the impact of these skills and using them and getting better visuals. You could talk about how a profile picture might get more clicks, better CTR on thumbnails. Although don't phrase it in that shorthand for YouTubers. Be like by using Canva's tools to make more eye-catching and engaging thumbnails, your YouTube videos could find a wider audience. Something like that. Use that phrase if it's helpful to you. Or butcher it however you like. No, I'm kidding. Use it however you like. Modify it however you like. And you could talk about and also, I think, because Canva is cross-platform, it's not just about YouTube, and so you can talk about, I think, taking it into possibly slightly unexpected places. How can you make your LinkedIn look more professional to help you land that next job? How can you make maybe better, images for finding success on Instagram? Could you use it for doing, post-production work on images? And so that could apply to so many things. Is there a TikTok implementation that could be done? What social media platforms could this help someone improve upon? And then put that in maybe a sentence for each almost, where you can just give a series of examples about how this can take you to the next level. And of course, as you probably well know, that would improve some SEO possibilities as well. Facebook group? Oh, that's cool. Huh. I like that. I like that group picture. That's good. That is good. All right. And so he also asked me to take a look at your layout.
Have you ever received?
Just kill that. No copyright music, I know, but nevertheless, it's yours, not mine. Let's take a look here. So you got uploads, popular uploads, good stuff. Green screen effect. Yeah, you got to imagine people are searching that all the time. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but why are you not sharing this stuff in Small YouTubers Boost? Why am I not seeing this? I know we chat sometimes and kind of hey, you got an affiliate link, use it, share it, get your bag. You work hard, you deserve to get something for it. And so people gotta be asking about green screen effects all the time. I've done a green screen effect once, and it was not great. I like to think it was funny. I did a whole Mission Impossible spoof thing where I made it look like I was hanging from a rope. But some of these things could be guides in our Facebook group. And so, like, if you wanted to create a guide on green screen effect or some other things, or if you want to create a guide that's on Canva and put it in our Facebook group and, have some text that gives value, explain some things, but also include a link to these videos, let's talk, let's coordinate, let's get that built. I think the people in the group would find it of great value. It would help drive traffic to your channel. And if you want some affiliate links in the description, maybe you can, get some cash while you're at it. It's the, let's see, YouTube content creators. I like that. It's like, okay, for YouTube, here it is. YouTube content creators, yeah, I mean, that's a term we hear a lot. It's kind of generic. A lot of people use it. Like, I'd almost think about making it oddly sound a little less professional, but it could be like, how can I YouTube content creators be like, improve your YouTube channel, better YouTube graphics, something like that, maybe. I don't know, something to think about. Do you want to improve graphic design and organization for your channel? Is it organization? I have to ask. Is Canva organization? I think organization is things like playlists and your layout, and I don't think that's Canva. I think that it can kind of help with branding and brand recognition. So, like, all of my tutorial thumbnails have a blue outline, and all of my Q&As are purple, and all of my live streams are orange. Like, you can do something like that as sort of an organizational trick, but that is like a tip that not a lot of people would implement. It's worth mentioning, but I don't think front and center for the purpose of the playlist. I think, improve your graphic, not even that, like, improve your thumbnails and get more clicks, with better graphic design. You do pivot here. Content creators features thumbnail help. Thumbnail help. I mean, okay, that's probably good from an SEO standpoint, but I'm just thinking about, like, that could be later in the playlist description. Earlier, it could be something just a little bit more basic than that, so that, like, think about the language proficiency we encounter in our Facebook group. It is a global group, so English language proficiency is not always at its top. So, better thumbnails, things like that. I don't know. That might green screen captioning assistance. Really? For one thing, there's no comma between green screen and captioning assistance. So, is that actually the same thing? Are you saying green screen capture assistance? Is that what you mean? Or are you saying that Canva can do captioning for your videos? That's a little unclear for me. But like those are things with huge value. So saying them carefully, I think, is worthwhile, and sharing them. Canva Frugal Friday series. That's a cool idea. Do you use Canva for free? This tutorial is specifically created for you, with you in mind. That might be a little too wordy. Take out, just say these Canva tutorials are specifically for you. They don't care about the created, in mind, extra language. Just say these Canva tutorials are created just for you. Giving you tips and tricks on how to use Canva for free without having Canva Pro. Yeah, no, it's great. Mini Canva tutorials. These Canva tutorials will be under 5 minutes. Don't say will be. Don't use time-specific language. These Canva tutorials are under 5 minutes. It looks like you wrote that before you started creating them, but they're there now. For quick learning, one or multiple skills. Skills, things, tricks. That's fine. Is that the whole description? I know playlist description was not exactly your request. Yeah, you gotta bulk this up. You need 2 more paragraphs here. And I feel, again, it feels really weird saying this because, again, you know the stuff better than I do in a lot of cases. These Canva tutorials will be maybe even drop these. Canva tutorials under 5 minutes for quickly learning 1 or more skills. And then, get into some examples. Want to make a meme in under 5 minutes? We'll show you how. Canva's got you. Oh, you can even do that. You could do like a call and answer sort of pattern thing. Want to make a meme in under 5 minutes? Canva's got you. Want to make great outlines on your YouTube thumbnails? Canva's got you. Or I got you. Something like that. I think that call and response, just boom, 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 whole bunch of SEO in there, and I think it makes for decent reading. I mean, obviously something like that, a call and response works better verbally, auditorially. And so, feel free to use that possibly in a channel trailer. You want this? I got you. You want this? I got. It's like that. there's a sound on TikTok that I don't think I should or can reference, but I can't believe that's what I was thinking of. Oh my god, that's slightly embarrassing. If anyone knows what the hell I'm talking about, just cut color, be embarrassed. Back to basics with Canva. I think this layout's really solid. The one thing I'm thinking about, other than what I already mentioned, is I don't know how I feel about popular uploads being the second row here. No, you know what? Keep it, because these are good. These are good. No, forget it. I talked myself out of what I was going to say. I was going to say, like, show some not cultivated, curated content, Briar, but no, those uploads are great. So I think you're doing fine. I think you're doing awesome. 53,000 views. Interesting. This is, okay, 2021. I was going to go on a rant about how, like, it's unfair that this doesn't have more views, but it's relatively young, so that's okay. All right, spent a lot of time on that, but want to felt like I had to up my game for that one because I know my audience a little bit there. I feel like you're the next Think Media. Well, as I understand it, they're pretty successful. I've watched a couple of their videos. I will take that as a compliment. Thank you. Often people compare me visually to Nick Nimmin, but content-wise, I have no idea. I have no idea what people think. Yes, once you have a good name, make all your social names the same across. Yeah, and one of the reasons for that, I harp on this a lot, but I didn't mention it yet in this live, is because when a platform looks at giving you a verification check mark, often part of those processes involves looking at other social media platforms to see if you have the same name and the same profile picture, banner, image, and kind of content, and they use that to make a determination. Are you a professional brand that is taking things seriously, that's on multiple platforms, that is at risk of being impersonated? Small YouTubers Boost has been impersonated a lot for years. I've had Facebook groups shut down because they pretended to be us and all sorts of things, and it's kind of crazy. And I always thought that was kind of weird. Now I just 3 days ago, for the first time ever, had someone pretend to be Vacation Impossible. And honestly, I mean, I know why people pretended to be Small YouTubers Boost. It's because we had a big Facebook group, and they thought there was money to be made there. That's what that was. I get that. Why they're pretending to be Vacation Impossible, I'm not sure. I do have some Facebook groups that Vacation Impossible runs that are travel-based groups, and so maybe it is just that again. I don't know. Probably. But is it weird that I find it a compliment that people are pretending to be me? Is that strange? I don't know. They say, what is it? Flattery is this... impersonation is the sincerest form of flattery, which I've never fully agreed with because it feels a little disrespectful sometimes, but... I mean, hey, if people dress up like me for Halloween, I wouldn't know what to think. Oh, and actually, funny, on the subject of, like, my tiny bit of fame, I was in a hotel pool in Portland recently, and a guy was in the hot tub with his wife, and I was there, and he turns to me and says, "I'm sorry for asking, but do you work in IT?" And I said, "Well, no, not really. I do some IT stuff with my day job, but not really. But, like, I run a YouTube channel, and, like, I know some IT stuff. What's up?" Like, I thought he was gonna have a question because he was older than I was. He had probably 1 to 2 decades on me, probably 1. But and I was expecting him to be like, "Hey, I've got a problem with my iPhone," and I was gonna be like, "Dude, I don't use Apple products." Like, that's what I thought the conversation was going to become. And he's like, "That's it. You're the travel guy with cruises on YouTube." And I nearly lost my damn mind. It was, like, amazing. I don't know how. Like, I don't know if I did keep it together. Well, I was gonna say I don't know how I kept it together, but I might be overestimating myself. I'm not sure I kept it together. That's the 3rd time in my life that somebody has recognized me from my YouTube channel. And what was crazy about that is the previous 2 times were on cruise ships, and I make a lot of videos about cruising and Vacation Impossible. One of them was someone I had spoken to beforehand, so I don't even think that counts. But other people in my team says it counts. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take the win. But we had talked in a Facebook group or something. We found out we were going to be on the same sailing. They also have a channel. They were talking about getting me to be a guest, and I only just did that like a couple months ago. They want me back, which is flattering. Difficult to find the time, but hopefully. But I'm standing in line at guest services to try. They made a mistake and they didn't give me the proper card of loyalty. I was a higher level than what they gave me, so I was in line to get it corrected. So I'm standing there and I'm kind of annoyed because I'm like, I spent so much money here and they don't even recognize me, whatever. Don't even recognize my loyalty level that I earned. I was platinum and they gave me like a blue card like it was my first cruise, and I was like, I wasn't that upset. But that was where my mental focus was. It's like, okay, how can I explain this in the shortest number of words? Because this is a long lineup behind me, and I don't want this to take a bunch of my time either. And so this is what I'm thinking. And then all of a sudden I hear someone yell, "Ray!" and come yelling at me and running at me from, like, I don't know how far away they were, but by the time I turned, and there was just this woman running, and then she, like, bear hugged me. And I was like, this is unusual. This hasn't happened before. So that was cool. I didn't think that one counted. And so that was December 2019. And then in February of 2020, I was on my last cruise that I had been on thus far. I was on the Vista, and I was getting some food on Lido Deck, and this younger couple, who I probably had a decade on, they were also taller than me. A very, very attractive couple, actually, come to think of it. They were like, yeah, they could have been models. Anyways, this guy and this woman come up to me, and they're just like, are you on YouTube? And I'm like, yeah, Vacation Impossible. And I forget if it was the man or the woman turned to the other one. Like, see, I told you. and I was like, wow, that's awesome. I'm glad you watched our stuff. I'm glad you liked it. And they're like, we know you're busy. This probably happens all the time, but can we get a picture with you? And I was like, yeah, you can. Never happened before. And so I got my picture taken with them, and that was kind of cool. But that was all on the cruise ship, and so I felt like it was somewhat a rarefied audience. But now I'm just in some bloody pool in a hotel in Portland, and some guy's like... So, that's 3. At some point I'll probably stop counting, but that was freaking amazing. And people mistake me for David Cross because of my hairline. I don't find that one super complimentary, but I try to be polite. I'm not a fan. I asked you to do an overview of my channel minus the name top of chat. Okay, sorry, Cartoon Universe. That never showed up for me, but I will... A review of my channel minus the name. Okay, so don't review the name, review the rest. All right, well, let's take a quick look. Not a huge amount of time left. I feel bad about that, but I swear the message never showed up for me. Welcome to Cartoon Universe, a channel dedicated to theories on Has Been Hotel, Hell of a Boss, Dragon Prince, Miraculous. I've never watched any of those. I would just drop the welcome to. Just say Cartoon Universe is dedicated to. Don't need to say a channel. Cartoon Universe is dedicated to theories on, and then maybe you can have a slightly more full list show up here. Wait a minute. Is this the right channel? That is not the right channel. Has 493,000 subscribers and it's verified. I'm like, wait a minute. That's not right. Okay. Minus the name. Okay, because, yeah, I'd have things to say about the name. Let's see if I can find you. Because, yeah, I think you have, like, is that a CU? And that's one thing, when I talk about these profile pictures, look at how it appears in your chat, in this, and see how small that is. But it looks like a CU in pink with, like, a universe behind it, maybe. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, there it is, I think. I think that's them. Okie doke. Welcome to Cartoon Universe. My name is DJ, your host. Oh, DJ? DJ Talks? Any chance? Are we in the band back together? Is this DJ Talks? If so, also, again, super sorry. You're, long-time supporter of Small YouTubers Boost, a big member of the community, so really appreciate it if it is you. And if it's not you, hey, welcome anyways. I don't want to sound exclusionary. But again, welcome to Cartoon Universe. The welcome to is unnecessary. Although, okay, I get it. You're kind of like, welcome to Cartoon Universe. My name is DJ, your host. Like, okay, I get that. For a channel trailer, that would be pretty awesome, actually. Does it translate into text? I don't know. I might actually be against myself this time and say maybe keep it. We are here to review. Go straight to reviewing, and not some of. Forget that. Reviewing your favorite cartoons and anime, and go from there. Some of makes somebody... Will that include mine? Don't worry about that. At this stage, at this part, we're still trying to hook them. We're still trying to hook those strangers. Remember, channel description, the first paragraph, your thumbnails, your channel name, your profile picture, your audience is strangers. We're trying to hook the fish. So we got to bait the hook. Yeah, the profile picture, it's not great. It's not great. It looks like a pop on the back of a phone that you'd have to hold the phone. I don't actually have one. So... yeah, I'm not exactly sure what to do about that, but I don't think that's working great. I think the profile picture redesign is in order. I already mentioned the tweaks. Let's jump in here. You got a channel trailer. I think that's DJ Talks. Looks like DJ Talks. Discover cartoons you have never seen before. Well, that kind of contradicts the beginning of your channel description where it's about my favorite cartoons. So which is it? This is hard to read. You notice I was kind of squinting and leaning in there. The drop shadow is a good idea, but it is too dropped. And so maybe Canva could maybe the Canva Classroom can show you how to do this a little bit better. But the background it's a little too far. It needs to be closer to the foreground text so that it's kind of like an outline that only happens to occur on like need something square. Tums do. Okay, let's. Do I not have something better? Do I have a post-it that doesn't have my tax information on it? No, I don't think I do. Okay, so when we're talking a drop shadow is basically an outline that only occurs on two axes. So like if let's say the shadow is on this side, so this here and this here would be a crisp cut with like no real outline, and then over here on these two axes you would have like the black and the black outlining it. That's kind of what it is. It's sort of like a half outline, like sort of you could consider it being sliced that way. There's a few different ways you can look at it, but the problem is that if your outline is kind of lost in space and not there, then it looks like something else that needs to be read. And so when the eyes are trying to perceive the text, it's like there's two texts and you're trying to mentally block out one to focus on the other, not unlike trying to hear one voice in a crowded room, and that makes it harder to do. And so we want to make it easier on people, and the whole point of the drop shadow is to make it easier on people. It can also have sometimes benefit of making the image look more dynamic and things like that, but ultimately clarity is king on this when it's text on a graphic, and so that would help a lot. It doesn't have the channel name in the thing here, but that's okay. DJ Talks right there. Yeah, I knew it was DJ Talks. Welcome back. I kind of like that. I like that animated thing on the TV. I think that's great. The upside down dinosaur is kind of cool too. I like that. Let's see. Cartoon Universe FB. I'd capitalize the C and the U. Let's take a look here. The channel trailer, it's good to have a channel trailer, but you could put more there. You could say Cartoon Universe channel trailer, something like that. The time is good. It starts off with your social links. I don't think that's great personally. I would have a description. If you have a voiceover, whatever you say in the channel trailer you might want to put there, or just your own original description of your channel would be a good idea. You have a scheduled live stream. That's cool. Friends of the channel, that's nice. That's good as a creator and in the community, but I think this real estate here might be better used by having a playlist of like your top viewed videos, or a curated playlist is not a bad idea. So you're using a green screen there. I know someone who can show you how to use green screen stuff in Canva. Canva Classroom is great at SEO, and I don't mean this too critical, but like maybe not great at the self-promotion. So you know what? As much as Amanda like pokes me to stay active on this channel, maybe I need to poke you about self-promotion. I don't know. Should probably have some form of consent before I start pestering you, though. So that's kind of cool there. I'm running short on time, unfortunately, but I have reviewed DJ Talks' other channel, assuming. Oh, or this might have been a conversion of the old channel. Okay. But I think I have reviewed this channel before, so I do apologize for missing the thing earlier. But I think I kind of need to. This is like lightning round time because I need to get out of here in about 10 minutes. I need to get caught up on chat. So let's take a look here. New channel, new me. Okay, cool. New name. Impressive. I'm sure you'll do great, Amanda. I love to see creators supporting each other like that. That's awesome. The chat. Let's see. Yes, he got that reference. Like, how long ago was that? I'm not even sure. That was the the Spaceballs reference. Merchandising. Okay. My chat is scrolling on its own. Not a fan of when it does that. I remember Yahoo and GeoCities. Yeah, because Yahoo bought GeoCities. I was pre-Yahoo buying GeoCities. I am OG. I got my Hotmail address when Hotmail was its independent thing before Microsoft bought it. I only had 6 digits in my ICQ number, which I had pride in for some reason for far too long. I remember AOL chat rooms. I can, in fact, here's an obscure reference that I almost guarantee no one will get. I'm not sure how many viewers we have right now, but I'm gonna bet no one is gonna know what I'm talking about. And it is actually the inspiration from my channel. The inspiration for my very first YouTube channel, Vacation Impossible, originally came from one of the first ever web video series ever. It was called D Life. So it was a lowercase d period and then the word life. And it was 2 guys and a girl, and they had these like bizarre travel adventures. I remember one of their episodes was they got into a fight outside of a bar in Calgary in the middle of the night or something. I remember watching this enraptured and amazed. Video on the internet, for one thing, was like kind of cutting edge at the time, and here were people traveling and having adventures and being funny. They were doing things that I wouldn't do in terms of certain illegalities. Apparently, like a DJ friend of theirs got arrested in South Korea, and one episode was them trying to get him out of jail towards the end of the run. Like, that was just crazy. And I'm not sure how much of it was scripted. It didn't feel scripted. And so I was just like, wow, like, my friends have fun and we go to places and we can show people how to do that. And I want more of my friends to travel with me. And, like, these guys just seem like they're pointing a camera at themselves. So it's not like I have to have a script. And it's still really engaging. And I had 4 years of improv experience, 2 years as a captain, made it to the quarterfinals regionally 2 years in a row when I was the captain. My friend was on the team with me. We traveled together. I'm like, oh my God, like, we can do a law-abiding version of this. And I wasn't going to say we could do it better. I was saying we could do it different. And so that was part of where my inspiration came from all those years ago. And so that was and that was, I believe, on heavy.com back in the day. This is like just the beginnings of Web 2.0, where like Gerbil in a Blender was brand new, stuff like that, Joe Cartoon, like in the era of that. And then ABC bought it and put it on their website for a little while, and eventually it's just gone. I have, I think, part of one episode downloaded somewhere, and I have their logo somewhere, and that is, I think, all that remains of them. And like the people went on to have, at least one of the, I think the woman went on to have some kind of career as a television presenter or something. But like, if any of you know what I was just talking about, let me know in chat, or if you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments, because you are my people, and sometimes I feel very alone in that regard. Back in the day, where like heavy.com redesigned their entire website every week with like new flash and new music. That was how I discovered different artists. Ladytron, I remember I discovered through one of their redesigns. They had Behind the Music That Sucks before VH1 bought it. They had Sabotage News Network. Yeah, back in the day, old school. If I had a time machine, oh man, the things I could do with a time machine. The perfect comment at the imperfect time is priceless. I like that. Yeah, when we're feeling imperfect and there's a perfect comment to make us feel better. Yeah, I like that. Well phrased. And I know you're a writer, so no surprise that you can turn a phrase. How do you turn a phrase? Anyways, Family Guy joke. I'm asking myself these questions every time I upload. I'm not sure which questions at the time, but yeah, like, and one thing, every time you upload, TubeBuddy, get the browser plugin, because it has its best practices. And so it reminds you to do some of those little technical things so you can focus on the art of it. And TubeBuddy will remind you and help you with the technical side of things. And then you can focus your time and energy where you, like, no one can do it but you. Other people might be able to optimize your channel, but nobody can have your ideas. Nobody can be you on film. Nobody can, make the same choices that you would. And so, yeah. I think that's part of why I love TubeBuddy, is because it allows me to focus more on the things that only I can do. I lost 3 earlier, and a few hours, had 3 return. It was weird. Yeah. I just watching subscriber numbers is almost never good. It's nice when the number goes up, but that roller coaster, man, like, I don't know. It doesn't feel rewarding. I like watching views, because views almost never go down unless an audit goes against you. So yeah, that's a roller coaster. That's not a whole lot of fun. Something happened to me. It made me sad, but the new ones made me happy. It's a strange feeling. And you see, that's the thing. And ultimately, those are numbers on a screen. I mean, there are probably people behind it, but it's the comments and the views, I think, that's better to focus on, because it gives you more information. Again, I showed you the analytics where you can see what videos are costing you subscribers, which ones are gaining you subscribers. That is, I think, the only subscriber analytic that is valuable, because it's the only one that you can turn into an action item. If you're getting information and it's not informing you to make better choices, then it's not useful. And there's so many analytics. I had ViralStat. I'm not sure if they're still around. I think they shut down their affiliate program, but it was just so much data, and I had trouble converting it into action items. It was just data overload, not necessarily a lot of it being particularly useful. That's why I didn't really push and support it a lot. They sponsored the group for like a week or something. And so I tried it, and it worked, but I even said to them, like, when their guy contacted me, I'm like, I have trouble seeing how this becomes an action item for YouTubers, so it might have a limited impact in the group. If you could show me how, through, say, a tutorial or something, and I tried to find, I thought, hey, if I can find how to turn this data into action items, I can make a tutorial, and that would help them and help me and help my audience, and I just couldn't do it. The only time that made sense was if I was trying to do an analysis on maybe if I was trying to partner with someone, if I was a big channel, but I'm not a big channel, or if I was a brand trying to like look at some recent trends on channel, it kind of helped me spy on other channels a little bit, but not in a way that told me, oh, that means I need to do X. And so, yeah, not a great tool, unfortunately. Had a lot of potential, a lot of data. I'm missing the turnkey, and I couldn't create it for them because I had other things on my plate as well. Whenever I lose any, I just automatically think, okay, YouTube took care of a spam bot. Thanks, YouTube. And you can actually dive in to see it, but again, I was just arguing why not. Let's see here. YouTube sees us working hard. And that's the thing, too, actually. That's why, like, uploading daily, using all the tools, possibly, all these things give indicators that are data points that the algorithm uses to decide whether or not to publish content. And so if you're using all the tools, doing all the checkboxes on TubeBuddy's, best practices, you're using all the tools and you're uploading as consistently as you're able to, those are all strong indicators that you are serious and they're more likely to promote you that way, and also they'll know what kind of audience will work for your content because all of that gives them more data as well. Oh, they put this video in the info card. Maybe it relates to that subject. Those sorts of signs. It's all data points, right? So give them more data, and then their confidence will increase. When they're confident, then they'll show you to more people. How are you today? Asks the Reviewers Nation. Doing pretty good. I mean, coming towards the end of the live stream, so getting a little tired, but this has been a lot of fun. I was expecting to have to vamp more, so I had I was prepared to do a rant about people mistaking hashtags, keywords, and tags. I was going to do something about that. Maybe I'll save that for a dedicated video. And I was also going to go on a rant about people who say that YouTube doesn't promote their content. And the short version of the rant I was thinking of doing is basically, if you have any impressions and you say YouTube doesn't show your content to anyone, stop lying. Impressions is YouTube promoting your content. If that number is not 0, then it's promoting your content. Phrasing it a little harshly, but sometimes that's how the messages get received, and sometimes courting a little controversy drives engagement. So I don't like doing that, but I'm not totally above it. I don't like doing it in the creator space, but in the travel space sometimes. Like, I'll ask a controversial question when I share something in a targeted social manner. It'll drive a large conversation that'll be informed, hopefully, by my video that would be attached. Let's see. Simtech. Hello, world. Hello back, world. And to you, Simtech. You know I know SEO. Actually, I have 1 to 3 lessons per week. Okay, yeah. Well, over-deliver is always a good strategy. Almost always. Graphics, but they do video editing as well as so much more. And so, yeah, mentioning the video editing is worth it. And again, be honest. Do you think their video edit? You could say their video editing is not the most robust software, but for what you pay, it's a really good value. Maybe that's true. I don't know. Put that possibly in the channel description. You could I don't know if you had a playlist of video editing tutorials, but that might be a good idea if you don't. I'll have to check out your channel. Looks really good. The day I wrote Party Printables, I just done a video on it. Cool. That's good. Yeah, I feel like that might be more like the Party Printables thing. It feels like it could be more of an industry term, but there could be an opportunity there. Because if Party Printables, if you own the term and you see your stuff coming up, often on that, companies might, and it might be something that they see as something they want to target, and so they might want to reach out to you for sponsorship or something. And here's why I'm saying this. This actually aligns to something that happened to me. There was a particular product, and there was a particular travel search term. I'm not sure how much I want to reveal on this, but that if you searched it, my short, stupid tip video came up number 1. The video itself had 131 views. The video itself ran 2 minutes. It had a fairly trash thumbnail, but its SEO, either with the help of TubeBuddy or by accident. I think it was because I had TubeBuddy before I published that video, and so it helped. My TubeBuddy, my SEO, was on point. So if you search that in incognito, different accounts, on search engines, my video was always the top video result. So the company, I think, this is me theorizing this part, I think they decided, because they'd seen the video, they mentioned the video in their initial email to me. They said, we saw this video. But I think they saw it, and I think they made a choice. They thought, okay, we can compete against this, or we can just sponsor the guy. And it was cheaper for them to send me something for free and sponsor me. And so they sent me something free. It wasn't actually a sponsorship. It's just a free product. They didn't pay me anything because my channel was tiny. back then. They sent me the free product, and they wanted me to have Amazon affiliate links to the product. They wanted one for Canada and one for the US. And that was the moment, sidebar, that was the moment I started my Amazon affiliate stuff. Because I'm like, if I'm linking your product, I'm getting a cut. And so it's like time for me to sign up for an Amazon affiliate. I made it for the US and I didn't for Canada. And so I eventually scrubbed all the Canadian links. And now I just do the US stuff. I got my first check last month. So this was 2 years ago, at least. And so I made a video where I unboxed it and I reviewed it, and it's actually an amazing product. I mention it in tons of my videos. I have affiliate links to it all the place in the videos where I mention it. It's a great product, which is it's so important. Only endorse things that are actually good, and only say things you believe and agree with. Tell the full truth. And so I mention when it's not great and when it is great. And I also sometimes just share it as an affiliate link in some communities where it solves problems. And so I see a similar opportunity possibly with that particular phrase, party printables, where I don't know that an audience is searching it hugely, but a company could be targeting the phrase, whether it's, I don't know, Party City or Canva or somebody else. It could be PlaceIt. I don't know. And so that's just something like, if you wanted to, I use the phrase social media catnip, and it's like where I dangle something and a company or a person can't resist the urge to reply, either because I'm so wrong or so controversial. Generally, it's not that. Normally, it's like I'm being complimentary or I'm asking a question or something. But I try to imagine, let's say I'm a social media manager or an advertising person for a large company, and I'm looking at social media and I'm trying to create engagement and brand recognition with my audience. What pitches do they want to swing at that is coming straight over the plate at just the right height, and they're like, that's perfect, I can take this opportunity. And that can do a few things. It might get you a sponsorship or free product, or it might get them to respond to you, maybe retweet you if it's on Twitter, maybe engage with you, who knows, maybe collaborate, whatever. And so every now and then, if it happens to occur to me, it's not like I sit down and I'm like, must create catnip today. But it's like, I just happen to, in my crazy, mental wanderings, my mind's like, you know what, I bet Pepsi, and this hasn't happened, I bet Pepsi couldn't resist replying to a tweet if I said this in the tweet. And so for fun, I'm just going to go do it. If it's in line with my brand, I'll be on my Vacation Impossible or the Small YouTubers Boost account, and I'll do it from there if it's in alignment. If it's not, I've got my personal Twitter, which is Cowman, and I'll just do it from there for fun. But also it's part of my learning and seeing, like, how can I get the attention of these people? How can I trigger them to take the action that I want? How can I make these puppets dance for me? And I feel like there's an opportunity there. It's just my gut instinct. There might not be anything to it. I don't know. I'm not sure what the character limitations are. I remember struggling to get everything in there, but maybe if I tweak some of the phrasing, I can reduce some things and add things. If you're talking about the playlist description, it's like a video description. I think it's like 5,000 characters, which is too much. And so there's two ways of looking at it. There's one of like everything in the playlist description, SEO value, etc. On the off chance somebody clicks it and reads it like I did, which is probably not tons. And then there's also how it displays on the channel page, which depends on your resolution and your device. Never more in my noticings than, say, 3 lines, but like how many characters. And so do you want it to look great on the channel layout like it's complete, or do you want it to intentionally be incomplete? Little ... Wait, what's the end of that? How's that sentence end? What was going to be next on that list? Entice and earn the click. Let's see here. Stupid Robot Fighting League, awesome to see you. I've been wondering how you've been. Glad you're here. That's awesome. And yes, you know what? Speaking of catnip, this live stream was absolutely a little bit of catnip for Stupid Robot Fighting League. I've been wondering how he's been doing, and I thought, on top of like, Amanda is, poking me and making me do it, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let a little catnip and see if Stupid Robot Fighting League shows up. So awesome. It totally worked. And so those little catnip things, like, it's not necessarily for financial gain or anything. Sometimes it's like, you know what? I want to check in, and here's a way I can do, 2 or 3 birds with one stone, as they say. Don't hurt birds. For me, I had to go to a different direction to get monetized here on YouTube, as gaming is excessively saturated. That's true. I am Cap Gamer, and so we've got Copwatch. Oh, I saw something about Copwatch recently. What was that? I think it was in the Facebook group. And I was like, Copwatch, what's that? That's an interesting concept. Is it like train spotting, or is it like holding police accountable? Or like, I was wondering. This is my other channel, which is monetized, and have had 2 payouts now. Yeah, and that's kind of fun. watching sort of the revenue, and like just yesterday, I hit the payout threshold for this month for Vacation Impossible, so I'm like, woohoo! I can't see your beard, Ray. Well, you know, that's what happens when you drop off from Patreon. I don't grow the beard for you anymore. That's what your $1 a month was buying. It was my face. But, you know, basically what I've been doing lately beard-wise is I kind of like to trim this down sort of to... get my left and right. I like actually keeping the main beard at this length up here, and then the goatee is sort of like it is now. That's sort of what I've been doing lately. But, you know, hey, you want pictures of Ray? Cowman's on Instagram. Is it Cowmanx, Cow_man X? I forget. Different platforms, it's slightly different. But, you know, if you want to see just stuff about me, my political opinions and random stuff, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I do have my own personal account where I just post whatever the hell I want. There it is in all its glory. I don't know why I said that sort of like a pirate, but I did. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Yeah, that. I made a meal out of that one. I stumbled on it. Dog's lunch, breakfast, faceplant, call it what you will. Thanks for the suggestions. I'm 40. I remember ICQ, Yahoo Chat. Yeah, I was never big on AOL Instant Messenger, but it was their comic chat. Chat rooms. I liked that. Even though I didn't use the comic feature, I just used the text. I think I just liked Comic Sans when it was new. That might have been it. Yeah, and MSN Messenger. Audio's clipping a little. So I think that means my volume's too high. See, I think about that sometimes in the clipping thing, because I think like the North American clipping means it's cutting out periodically. Like when I would use a radio, it would mean like you were releasing the button before you finished speaking, and so it was cutting off the last of what you were saying. That's what clipping sort of means to me, I think, in the North American experience. But I remember from previous experiences, the way you use clipping, maybe the New Zealand experience or whatever, is you're hitting your max. And so your audio quality is getting drowned out. You know, like those YouTubers just scream all the time, which I can't stand. Let's see here. And honestly, I'm thinking that my Fine mic might be kind of dying. I'm not sure. I take it with me when I travel, and so it gets beat up. I don't treat it as well as I should. And I have like 2 or 3 more microphones I have to do unboxings and reviews for. So it might be time to move on. Distortion. Is that distortion because I'm maxing out the audio, or is it just like, do I need to put the pop filter in, move it closer? Like, what kind of distortion? Earlier I was saying I know audio, and suddenly I feel like I don't. Okay. Well, I've turned the volume down and I put a pop filter in front of it just in time to end the show. This is why we need Stupid Robot Fighting League here from the beginning. Your ears would have, maybe avoid a headache. I don't know. It's fine now. Okay, cool. I'll take the win. Let's see. Hey, PB Speedruns. Notice the name? Anybody who watched my last paid channel review, I had recommended that name. So it looks good, I think. PO Live Accountable. Okay. I record police for accountability. Hey, fair enough. And that's one of the things, like, I think body cams are fine, although wearing them inside people's homes could be problematic for privacy things. So I'm not sure exactly where that accountability, privacy, those things, I haven't formed my opinion yet as to where to draw that line, and I'm glad it ain't my job to do so. But I'm all for things like body cams and stuff like that. I think accountability is important. I know Amnesty International, one of their big things is that people behave differently when they're being watched, and they generally behave better. Oh, and yeah, I'm running out of time. I got to get out of here. But I think I'm caught up on chat. Yes, I'm the one who commented about my cop watching niche in the Facebook group. Yeah, I saw that. That's what that was, and I found that interesting. The money was well spent. Distortion's fine now. I've taken everything you said into consideration. Thank you so much. Yeah, I skimmed your comment on the video, but I appreciate how I think you found it valuable, and how detailed you were in sort of absorbing that, and so it certainly feels like it was worth my time. I'm glad that it seems like you think it was worth your time and money. Anybody wants a paid channel review, like PB Speedrun's got, feel free to reach out to me through private message on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and we can arrange something, and then you can get a full video focused on your channel. It'll run minimum 45 minutes. I tend to go a little over an hour, though, because I always have a lot to say. But the guarantee is 45 minutes at least. And links to the channel always appear in the description, the info cards, and the end screen. And it's pretty reasonably priced, I like to think. It's basically the cost of 3 Big Mac meals. I don't say a dollar figure, generally speaking, because that is subject to change as I get busier. But yeah, if I were to do it for less than basically 3 Big Mac meals, I think my family would, like, I don't know, lock me up or something, or do something to me if I had to put up that much of my time without some compensation. So that's what that's all about, in case anyone is wondering. Thank you so much for tuning into the live stream. I wish I could say I know when the next one's going to happen, but life doesn't work like that for me, unfortunately. So make sure, if you're not, subscribe with notifications turned on so you can join us early in the next one, get your request in chat, and God willing, it won't get blocked. And feel free to make the request more than once because apparently it doesn't always come through. So sorry to DJ Talks about that slip up earlier, but thank you so much for being here. And if you're not already in our Facebook community, it's just coming up on the scroll there. Oh, it's right above me now. Facebook.com/groups/small YouTubers boost. And you can continue the information sharing and conversation there. So thank you so much for watching. And since I am the owner of Vacation Impossible, I like to end this with a mission. And so I think that what would be a good task to give everyone, almost like Taskmaster, which I've been watching lately on YouTube. Our house has COVID. Oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear that. I know that with vaccinations, it's not necessarily as dangerous as it used to be, but yeah, rest up, stay safe. You're in my thoughts, man, and your family. So, yeah, my best friend got COVID just the other day, actually. So, yeah, that's why I wear masks a little bit more than I am told to, and I stay home maybe a little bit more than I am told to, and why I have not yet gotten my butt back on a cruise ship, because I want to be very careful. I don't want to contribute to anyone's poor health. And, of course, protect myself and my family as well, and so do so as well. So thank you so much for watching. Here's my task for you. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to go and look at your playlists and make sure that every one of your playlists has a description, and if possible, try to make that description have at least 3 sentences. 3 paragraphs is better, but minimum 3 sentences of description on every single playlist you have. That is your mission if you choose to accept it. As for this live stream will self-destruct in 3 seconds.